Hey guys, this is Dumb Orange 927 here. Here guys, I am doing part 2 of my review for Destiny. So yeah, I already put up my part 1, which was just discussing general overview like graphics and just what the game's mainly about. So now it's time to move on to sound. Well, sound sounds really good, it's really good, the whole works. Now it's time we move on to the campaign, which, this is where sort of a rant's gonna come in, like, not a rant, but, how to explain, like, Destiny has great gameplay and stuff. One issue though is its repetition, and it's just, there's big problems with the story. The problems with the story is the fact that it doesn't explain what's going on. It's literally, it's clueless. You don't know anything. You can't, like, all you know is that you have enemies who are trying to kill you, and that's really around it. And, it gets even more so when it gets to the cutscenes and stuff. I'll discuss this more, but now let's move on to the gameplay. The gameplay is solid in Destiny. I have very little complaints with the gameplay of the campaign. They're really good. You have a lot of weapons and enemy varieties to choose from. I will admit though, one minor nitpick I hate is the repetition, and this, as it were, at least once a level you have to go in a basic horde mode type defense stuff, which is seriously just, it's terrible beyond imagination. Like, it's lazy, There are very few levels that don't do that. In fact, probably the only levels that don't do that. It's probably the first few and the few last. So, it just gets annoying. One thing though that's cool in Destiny is that it has boss fights, which are really intense and cool. So, like, they do a good job at keeping it fresh, and, it's very, very cool having that. It's really fun to be, fighting these boss enemies. One minor nitpick though, I hate how they spawn regular minion enemies during the boss enemies, because it just gets annoying. It just feels like a distraction from the overall experience of fighting the boss. But that's my opinion though. But, how to explain, like, I'm not really pleased with that aspect, but overall the Destiny gameplay is really good. By far though, my biggest complaint would definitely be the repetition. A lot of things get insanely repetitive in Destiny, and it gets annoying. So, just, kudos to that. I also like how the story, like, everything's slightly open-worlded. That's really cool, and it's definitely really fun to pick up and play with your friends and stuff. I like playing with Dusk Thunder and, yeah, just a lot of people and a lot of my friends. It's very, very fun. So, yeah, Destiny is definitely one of those fun games. And, by terms of its gameplay and weapon variety and stuff, this probably has one of the best gameplays for a campaign. Like, the campaign's just, it's a really fun campaign, and to be honest, I would not really understand if you didn't have all that much fun with it, because it's very, very fun, and like, you definitely, without a doubt, should pick it up if you haven't done so already. It is worth the money, and to be honest, it's insanely fun. So, kudos to that. But again though, one thing that kind of makes the campaign not as fun is just the lack of story. Like, I'm serious. I'm not gonna joke with you. This game seriously has a lack of story, and it's kind of a shame because it had a lot of potential for great story. And, you know, not to mention Bungie advertised its storytelling. You know, the reason I didn't care all that much when games like Titanfall didn't have that much of a campaign, it's because Titanfall, it wasn't advertised. It wasn't like they were saying, oh my gosh, this game was going to be amazing because it had an awesome campaign. No, they said it was going to revolutionize online multiplayer and stuff, but that's a video for another day, you know. But by comparison, Destiny, on the other hand, advertised its campaign, and ultimately, it's just, you know, like, the story is just a flop. There's no way around that. They hardly explain crap. They literally, like, even Peter Dinklage's voice acting as your ghost it's not enough. So, you know, like, it's a big shame because, you know, like, Destiny has a lot of potential, and it had a lot of potential for great storytelling, and it still does. Like, like, they set up things well, it's just they need to expand.
There was a time.
They need to explain what's going on. They need to tell you why you're fighting this war and stuff, and hopefully they can fix that with their sequel. And yes, the sequel for Destiny is basically confirmed, so, you know, let's hope they can get better there.
You must have no end of questions, Guardian.
But, you know, it's just Destiny just needed more of that. But overall, for the story, even though it's minimum explanation stuff, it's pretty good, you know, by what it sets up. So, you know,
and do what the Traveler itself no longer can.
By terms of its storytelling and gameplay and stuff, it actually feels similar to the Halo series. So any Halo veterans and stuff are gonna feel right at home with this.
How the Traveler was crippled. I could
and
feel the power,
it's just like
darkness, its ancient enemy. There are many,
you know, it does a good job at that, and you know, the set designs are good. It's just, you know, it's just the lack of the explanation. The characters, you know, you don't care that much at all about any of the characters. You know, we need characters that are memorable.
The darkness is coming back. We will not survive it this time.
Its armies surround us. The Fallen are just the beginning.
What can I do?
You
so
must
yeah.
the darkness.
So anywho, the story and the gameplay and stuff, it's just, I'm not gonna say the campaign is bad, it's just, this was clearly the section of the game that disappointed me the most. So yeah, on with the multiplayer.
I'm sure of it. We're in this together now.
Control.
Welcome back, and this is for the
Alpha team.
now this is on the multiplayer, so let's get started.
Time to fight, Guardians. Capture all zones.
So again, like I said, the campaign isn't bad, it's just, you know, it was probably the most disappointing section of the bunch. But I will admit, one thing that definitely holds the game up, since its campaign didn't really, is the multiplayer. The multiplayer is very, very fun, and, you know, it's just great. You know, it has stuff to unlock, it has really cool gameplay diversity. It's a really fun game, and, you know, like, not considering playing Destiny's multiplayer is really just, it's just a shame, really, like, if you don't, because Destiny is a really,
Gains the
really
lead.
good multiplayer with a high skill gap,
Zone
and
C
it's just, you know,
neutralized.
it's just great. So,
Zone
um,
C secure. You control all zones. Zone
yeah,
A
so
lost.
it's just a great experience, and you know, it's
Enemy
just,
captured Zone B.
if you enjoyed the Halo series with skill gap and stuff, you aren't gonna be disappointed with Destiny on its aiming and all that. One thing though I'm mildly disappointed of is the weapon
Zone B
balance.
neutralized.
I don't know if it's just me, but a lot of the weapon and ability balances are very, very bad. And like, a game made by Bungie should not have balance issues and stuff, but it does, you know,
Enemy
like,
captured Zone
but
B.
that's just like a nitpick. So if, especially when you go against high ranked opponents, it just gets a bit frustrating.
Neutralized.
And now it just makes it hard to stand a chance against any opponents with high ranks, because, you know, it's just,
Zone A secure.
when you're going against such a high ranked opponent, they'll have like weapons that can kill you nearly instantly. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing with the progression system, that's fair enough, I get it. When you're progressing, your weapons are gonna gradually get better, I understand that. But compare this to like Call of Duty
Enemy
and stuff,
captured
like
Zone C.
with Call of Duty and Timefall and stuff, yes, your weapons got better gradually, but there was never a weapon that was so big that flat out choosing not to use it would put you at a disadvantage. This is the case with Destiny. You are literally forced to use the best weapon you can get, so it really does kind of damage the aspect to play the way you want,
Heavy ammo
which is,
inbound.
you know, it's just, that's one of my complaints. Another complaint I have is the lack of maps, and it doesn't have much vehicular gameplay, which was also a complaint I have with the game's campaign, but I forgot to mention that. So, you know, it's just,
Zone B neutralized.
you know, it's just a shame that I didn't have that. But overall, the Destiny multiplayer is insanely fun. I personally love it. It just has a lot of great aspects that are just fun, great gameplay diversity. It's really sort of the compensation of Call of Duty. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like this video up, subscribe, and this is Delma Orange 927, and peace out. And at a scale from 1 through 10, I will rate Destiny an 8. It is a great game, but it was sort of a letdown. But you know, this is Delma Orange 927, and peace out.
Secure. Zone B lost. Zone B secure. Zone C lost.